Hello, sports posers. My name's John, and this is my good friend Brett. And this is Sports Poser LIV Professional Golf PGA Edition. So, Brett, why are people in the office suddenly talking about professional golf?
Yeah, well, it's complicated, really. And I was trying to figure out a way to explain this very simply. And I think you kind of have to go from the beginning of golf. Golf was played only by elite rich people that had enough castles and money to do whatever they wanted and would just play in a field hitting a ball. Very foreign to have a steel worker in early 1900s getting off from work and going to play golf. So there wasn't it was always amateur golf. And Bobby Jones, who we've all heard of, you've heard of Bobby Jones being from Atlanta, famous amateur. There was no professional. You didn't get paid. Golf got more popular, guys like Walter Hagen, who you see in the Dick's Sporting Good, the clothing line wear, he was really popular and basically created the idea that people could make a living playing golf, actually make money, be professional, not amateur. So he got very popular and more money came in, and then other players started coming in and making the league more popular. And the next guy to come along was Ben Hogan, who
heard that name, sure.
Yeah, and so that got more popular. And then guess who came next? You probably know.
Arnold Palmer.
Yes, the swashbuckling, cigarette smoking, good looking, just great personality brought golf to the masses, to the blue collar. So like coming from Pittsburgh, he had a huge following, a very blue collar guy. So he brought golf to people that had never really been interested in it before. So they created what's called the PGA Tour. In 1968, based on the popularity, they wanted to create tournaments all over the US so everybody could watch this increasing sport of popularity. And so it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then once that got established, who came next?
Jack.
Yes, Jack Nicklaus, who we all know. So he took it to a whole nother level, became a mega superstar. And he took it a really long way. And then who brought it some more?
I don't know if there was anyone between.
Tiger.
I'd have to assume Tiger. Yeah, cool.
Tiger took it. So since 1968, PGA over 55 years, PGA Tour has been the place for everyone to play. And then all of a sudden, this LIV Tour starts. Like, what is this? Do you even know what it is?
No one Saudi backed, right? Yep. So
it's the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, tons of money. So they started throwing money at everybody to come play. Don't play on the PGA Tour, come play on our tour. And they offered players over hundreds of millions of dollars. And in fact, they offered Tiger $800 million to go play for the LIV Tour, and he turned it down.
And that's where the big controversy is coming in now, right? That there were all these players who stayed with the PGA, and some that went for the money with the LIV Saudi League. And then what happened?
Yeah, like Rory McIlroy, he's the face of PGA, of saying you're turncoats, you left, you're traitors. How could you do this and take the money? And he took a toll on him. Like he's the everyone is really, he's like the lightning rod of all the things that people are mad about with the PGA. And then the very thing he's fighting for his whole career, that same entity turns their back on him and just says, we'll just merge, and he's left looking like a complete idiot.
Yeah. So what happens to all the people who passed on those lucrative contracts now that they're one entity?
Just like any corporate merger, who's gonna be in power, right? Like I don't think they even know. I think this was done so quick. I think a lot of it was lawyer driven. A lot of it was, some things people had to hide. I have no idea, but to have a 54-year-old tour that was so contentious, the fighting was so, like, they hated each other and they didn't want it. The players weren't even talking to each other. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're all together now. Was a surprise to anybody in golf. And this is, some people call it the saddest day of golf. I don't know about that. I think golf needed some sort of little lift in promotion. It's kind of boring. So maybe this, we're talking about it now. So I don't know. We'll see.
The saddest day in golf is still better than a good day at work.
It's a bumper sticker, for sure.
Right. That's fascinating. I I guess there's a lot of shock around this, right? And surely there's going to be a whole lot more stories coming out about this over the next couple of weeks. So we'll.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Democrats versus the Republicans. Some people are going to, yeah, it's good for golf. I love LIV. And no, the PGA Tour, So it's probably the LIV will be the Democrats and the PGA will be the Republicans, something like that. If I had to guess.
I would just say this. I think I think the funding of the Saudi entity is probably stronger, so there's a good chance they'll get their way.
Well, we talked about this earlier. This is called sports washing.
Okay. Yep.
Basically, it's look at the golf. Don't look at the beheadings.
Well, and eventually you run out of oil, right? So
I know we have
by all professional sports because they're also doing something with soccer, right? What's that?
Well, they don't have anything to do with that. Messi is coming to the US to play for the MLS and getting paid a lot of money and not going to Saudi Arabia, which would have been incredible if at the same time both of these happened and Saudi Arabia was like the center of the sports universe to be like, okay, but yeah, he already has enough money. I guess $1 billion's enough. He doesn't need to go to. He's going to do what Pele did here in the United States in the 1970s. He's going to bring soccer to the forefront for at least a couple years because I just looked into we like Messi and I looked to see what tickets cost in Charlotte. The cheapest ticket I could find for Messi soccer games, $250. First row seats are 10,000. This is from an organization, the Major League Soccer, that has never had anything close to that. David Beckham did it a little while ago. And kind of got people excited, but he was at the very end of his career. Messi just won a World Cup, so he's still at the top of his game. So people are going to pay to go see him. Poor people won't go to see him though because they can't afford it.
That's why we have TVs, Brett.
Yeah, true.
TVs
are for poor people. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, that's good. Small TVs.
Yeah, small little 13 inches.
I don't know. Even big TVs are $300 now. So it's crazy.
I bought my son a 60-inch for Christmas, and it was like $239. So no idea.
Very good. Yeah, that is the state of things.
Well, we won't talk about hockey and basketball because both series are so boring. Don't even ask me. Go look it up if you're interested. I really don't care, honestly.
No, well, then in that case, I'll step in because as a Denverite, yes, the Nuggets are up 2-1 over the Heat. We're pretty excited about it. Thanks to Tucker. And the Golden Knights are up 2-0 against the Panthers, I believe. And I don't know how many people are excited about Golden Knights and Panthers, but
I'm impressed what you just rattled. I'm just so impressed you just rattled off all that information right there.
Yeah, it's taped to the screen, Brett.
I will say Jokic in Denver is incredible. Like he's 7 foot, he's goofy, he's ugly, and he's the best basketball player in the world right now. I never would have expected that. But
see, everyone has one strength, at least one.
What's his?
He's the greatest basketball player in the world.
And that pays pretty well.
It pays really well, I would imagine.
Next contract, he'll get 40, probably 30, 40 million bucks a year.
He should.
4.
Yep. Nice.
All right, buddy. Enjoyed it.
My friend. Take care.